Hey guys, welcome back to Kari's Kitchen. This is episode 5 of Basic Kari, and this is the last episode in the series. And today's basic ingredient or basic food is chapati. So chapati is actually such a fave. If you don't like chapati, I probably don't like you. But chapati is such a fave. It's so amazing. I don't know why anyone wouldn't like chapati. So chapati is actually very easy to make. The only thing that people usually find difficult is the dough. So when it comes to preparing the dough, the right quantities, the right temperatures, the right everything, that's what people usually struggle with. Otherwise, after your dough is ready, everything is very straightforward. Some people like to add other things to their chapati. Some people like to add I lived in Uganda for 7 years, and while I was there I came to realize that people add carrots in their chapati and people add onions in their chapati. Like you grate your onions and your carrots and you add them into the chapati mix while you're preparing it. Some people like to take it a step further and treat it as though you're baking. So some people add baking powder, others add milk, others add eggs, and all these things produce different textures to the final product. So the end result usually looks the same, but when you add in all these different things, the textures change. Sometimes it's softer, sometimes it's a bit harder depending on what you do. Sometimes your chapatis may not be layered. But in this episode, I'll show you the easiest and most straightforward way to make chapati. And if you'd like to see the other additions to chapati or other variations to chapati, then just let me know in the comments and I'll make an additional video. So let's get started. So the chapati is very simple to cook. So the only ingredients you need today are flour, lukewarm water, salt. Sugar is optional depending on how you like the taste of your chapati, and oil. It could be vegetable oil, it could be ghee, it could be butter, it could be shortening. People like to use cow oil and kimbo and things like that. Just oil. So in my bowl in front of me, I've put in 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, about a tablespoon of oil, and I'm going to take a cooking stick and start mixing everything up, and then I'm going to create a small hole in the middle, and I'm going to start adding in my water. You don't really measure the water for chapati, you measure the flour. So I had 1 cup of flour, which will yield about 2 chapatis, and then you just keep on adding the water until the dough is nice and sticky and there's no more dry flour in your mixing bowl. So at this point our dough is nice and sticky. The flour in my bowl is finished, and now I'm just going to knead it with my hands. And don't worry about this happening. This is the best thing that can happen to you when you're cooking chapati. And if you find your dough is actually too sticky, don't be afraid to add bits of flour, not too much at a time, just so that you can be able to control whatever is happening in the bowl. Then we're going to transfer the chapati from the bowl, and I'm going to sprinkle a bit of flour on my countertop, and I'm just going to knead it. You should knead it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Kneading is good because it stretches out the gluten in your flour, and this process actually helps your chapati become softer, faster. I advise you to make sure that your nails are cut so that you don't get any dough stuck underneath your nails, which is not a good thing. And at this point, I'm going to, you could either wrap it in cling film, or you could put it in a Ziploc bag, which is what I'm going to do, and just let it rest for about 15 minutes to an hour. If you can do more than that, then it's even better. The longer the resting time, the better. So I'm going to put my dough into a Ziploc bag. So my chapati has now rested for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I'm just going to take it out of its Ziploc, and I'm going to dust my surface to make it easier for rolling. And then I'm just going to separate it into workable bowls. So as you can see, I have 3 chapatis. I'm going to be making 3 chapatis, and the next step is to put 2 of them aside and to dust once again, and to dust my rolling pin. And I'm just going to roll this out. At this point, the shape doesn't matter. We're just trying to stretch it out so that we can form the layers. And then the fat that I'm going to use is ghee, and this is what I'm going to use as the fat inside of my chapatis, because ghee has a different flavor profile and it will enhance the flavor of the chapati. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a bit of the ghee onto the chapati. Be careful not to put in too much, a little goes a long way. This is just to think of this as adding lotion to your skin after you shower. You just have to moisturize your body the same way we have to moisturize our chapati. And then I'm going to roll it while stretching it. This rolling process is what is going to help you form all the layers. Try to stretch it as much as you can. This is what helps you form the layers in the chapati. And if your dough is right, this should stretch significantly. It shouldn't just be something small. And then we're just going to roll it within itself. like so, as you continue stretching it. This also helps with the layers. And then the last roll, or whatever we're gonna call it, should be tucked in. And he's ready. I'm going to put it aside and get into number 2 and 3. Same thing, same process. Let's get it. Now that my chapatis are sitting in their oil, the next thing I'm going to do is start heating up my frying pan before I start rolling the shape of the chapati, because it's essential to have a heated and hot pan before you lay the chapatis on. So I'll get that started while I begin to roll out my chapatis into their shape. So as my pan is heating up, I'm going to start with the first chapati I rolled into a bowl. It's easy. You also just need to give the chapatis a break to rest, to absorb. So now I am going to roll this guy out. To be honest, I really don't care about the shape of the chapati. Like, it really doesn't matter to me. If it matters to you, find a way to perfect it. I really don't care, so long as it tastes good. Like, think about it. Your stomach won't worry whether your chapati is a square or a circle or a triangle. Anyway, this one is ready, so I'm just going to transfer it to my pan. And at first you do not want these. At first you don't want any oil or anything on the pan. You just want to let it cook on its own before you add anything to it. And the idea behind cooking the chapati without oil first is to let the chapati dry out. That way you get those brown speckles when you finally add the oil. So I'm going to cook it on one side and on the other side, and the third time I flip it is when I will add some sort of oil to the chapati, which in today's case is ghee. But if you prefer to use vegetable oil, it's really up to you, or shortening, carboy and whatever, it's really up to you. But whatever oil you begin with, you should stick with it throughout the whole process. Now that both sides have been dried out sufficiently, I'm just going to add my ghee to the top before I flip it over for the third time. And there we go. I'm going to flip it, and then I'll add ghee to the other side as well. And a good sign that your chapati is at the right consistency is when it starts bubbling up like this. You can see the air pockets in the chapati filling up. That's a very good sign. And while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and roll out the other chapatis so that they're ready for frying. So my chapatis are now ready and I cannot wait to eat them. The last one actually came out round, so yes, I'm going for Kari. But at this point, your chapatis are ready. All you have to do is accompany it with some stew whether it's chicken stew or beef stew, some vegetables, whether you want some spinach or cabbage. It's really up to you where you go from here. Personally, I like to have my chapati with tea or Milo, like it just slaps. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my chapati up on my chopping board and then make my Milo. Like I mentioned before, this is the last episode in series 1 of Basic Kari. Don't worry, there will be more to come, and after this I'll definitely be posting many different videos of stews and roasts and pasta bakes and whatever you guys have requested. I asked you on Instagram what you'd like to see, so that's what I'll be working on next. And there will be another Basic Kari series to come, and the next Basic Kari series will be focused on meats, so look forward to that. And yeah, thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below, and don't forget to follow on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter.